Whenever I talk about being a positive reinforcement trainer, the most concerning questions or comments I get is about using treats as a motivator. And let me be very clear in this video. Using treats as a means of training does not mean treats forever. That's what we're going to talk about in today's session.
Don't you love this dog? Don't you smuggle him on the couch? What the hell we have this dog? So sit, pause, stay.
Go.
Alright, let's talk about communication. Because again, if the dog's not looking, you're not listening. We're gonna go to war in 3, 2, Force-free means no adverse methods of training. I'm not going to recommend a prong collar. I'm not going to recommend an e-collar. I'm not going to teach, karate chopping. It's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy. You want the dog to follow you out of integrity and respect, not fear, not intimidation. It defeats the purpose of the relationship you're trying to build with this dog. So if we use intimidation tactics, the idea is I have to implement an intimidation mindset in order for me to implement these behaviors. If we use positive reinforcement training, which means using treats in order to encourage the behaviors that we want, and once we condition the dog to perform behaviors consistently using the treats, we slowly wean the dog off the treats. What's important to note, and often I get questioned on, if I give treats all the time, does that mean I need to have treats forever? Absolutely not. The concept of that is malarkey. Are you nuts? The go-go gadget belt for the rest of the dog's life? Clicks and squeaks and all that stuff? That's crazy. It's not a realistic expectation. The realistic expectation, and oftentimes why we struggle with positive reinforcement training, is human instinct is we use food to our dog. We acquire the desired behavior, boom, cold turkey. And the dog's like, I worked adequately and you were paying me adequately. Now I'm working adequately. You're going to pay me nothing? And all of a sudden the dog reverts back to worse they were before. And the human's like, and then we get upset and then we're like, abandon everything we did. No. All that we needed to do was go from super fantastic treats, like we were doing, create a conditioned response, and then started weaning them. Instead of the super fantastic liver treats that we use, we go to a mediocre crunchy treat. From a mediocre crunchy treat, we go to maybe a piece of dog food. A piece of dog food to maybe like a tangible reward, like a toy, like a ball. From a toy as the resource to then a scratch behind the ears. Scratch behind the ears to a pat on the head, what a good boy. Good boy to just verbal affirmations, what a good boy. And the dog will continue to give you that behavior. The problem is if I'm going from, let's say, super fantastic treats, and then I transition into mediocre treats, and the dog stops giving me those responses, that instant response, I got to jump back to the super fantastic treats for a little bit longer because the dog stopping based on the quality of the treat means we're not conditioned. Not that that doesn't work for this dog. We haven't done enough repetitions for the dog to be conditioned. Once we teach the dog to be conditioned, now we go to a mediocre treat. And if I continue to get the instant response, mediocre treat for a couple weeks, then I'll go into, maybe a ball. If I start giving him a ball because he's giving me good behavior, and then he starts bobbleheading, where he doesn't care anymore because the ball means nothing, I got to go back to the mediocre treat. And we go back and forth on this until literally I don't have to have anything tangible, and the dog continues to give me those behaviors because they're conditioned. Don't forget to subscribe for more simple and effective dog training content.